All right, here we go. Let's get started. So they told us that wealth was locked behind boardroom doors that we would never enter. That freedom was preserved for the privileged, the connected, and the already rich. But let me tell you something, that was a lie. See, we are the generation that's rewriting the rule book. See, we don't need $1 million fund. We don't need a landlord's permission. But what we do need is a blueprint, y'all. That's exactly what I'm about to lay down. This is Airbnb Pro Tips, and I am your host, Earl McCray. Every week, we're breaking down real game from real entrepreneurs on how to launch, automate, and scale that Airbnb business. We're giving you the strategies, the money moves, and the mindset shifts that will separate those from the dreams from those who are executing on those dreams. Here, we celebrate the wins, both big and small. Here, we talk to real entrepreneurs, the one that took action and changed their lives. Here, we're giving you the blueprint so that you can stop watching and start building. So, if you're ready to tap into your God-given ability to turn knowledge into passive income, to create a system that works for you instead of you working for it. Hey, welcome home. This is where transformation begins. This is where faith meets execution. This is where you level up your Airbnb game. This is Airbnb Pro Tips. All right, Airbnb Pro Tips. Let's get started. All right. All right. Let's see if we can get to our next slide here. Okay. All right, let's check your Dante. How's your levels, man? What your mic is doing?
I'm doing good, Earl. I'm just at work right now, but I'm locked in.
All right, now, no problem, bro. All right, let me get into our agenda, our conversation here. All right. Again, this is Earl on the podcast called Airbnb Pro Tips. And we do this every week where we talk about STRs in the news. We talk about interesting facts that's going on in the industry. We give you real game, real guest interactions. We talk about the wins. We talk about the losses. We talk about the learnings. And we also field questions, common questions about what to do if I am looking to get a side hustle or move from side hustle into I need to have 5 or 6 properties, putting out 1,000 to 5,000 a month so I can get out of this rat race. We do it all. All right. So today's theme is going to be finding profit, finding properties for profit. How to locate and find these properties for profit. That's the theme. So everything we're doing today evolves around that theme. And really, that's to launch. In I think about 30 days, I'm going to be dropping my ebook, The 5 Steps to 5K Without Owning Property. 5 steps to 5. Don't that sound good, Dante? 5 steps to 5K.
Yes, sir. That's
we
very
gonna be
catchy, man.
Yeah, we're gonna be dropping that ebook. All right. We in there. So STRs in the news. All right, I got 3 articles I found and I thought they would be of interest. This first article talks about cities you would never expect are delivering passive income. Here's how short-term rental entrepreneurs are scouting them out. All right, here's the article. While many cities are known for their strong entrepreneurial ecosystems, some unexpected locations are also emerging as hubs for innovation and business growth, including the following places. Here we go. Austin, Texas. known as tech havens and cultural spots. Austin also has a vibrant startup scene and growing economy. So one of our mentors, Dante and I, Beth, I think she has a couple of her properties in the Austin market. So I'm desiring to jump into that area as well. Okay. All right. Dante, not far from you is the next one, Miami, Florida. This low
Fact.
tax, right? Low taxes and high quality of life. Miami is attracting entrepreneurs and businesses and is becoming a major player in the tech and finance industry. I did not know that. Okay. All right. Next, Dallas, Texas. I do know a little bit about Dallas. Dallas offers a business friendly environment without income tax. Ooh, I'm starting to see a pattern, Dante, making it attractive for the entrepreneur minded. All right, let's keep going on the list. Houston, Texas. Now that's where my baby boy is relocating to. I'm actually thinking about Dante picking up a property using my VA benefits in the next 6 to 9 months. Yes, sir.
You
Um,
should, because what's it called? I've been trying to look in that area as well. Right now, I'm prospecting in Austin, and then I'm gonna go back to Houston.
yes, sir. Okay, great. Um, so as the energy capital of the world, that's what my son wants to get into. He wants to get into that industry. I said, son, get all you can and can all you get. Houston has a strong economy and is the hub of innovation and energy sector. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the Space Center, NASA, is located in Houston. Yeah, I'm almost positive now. All right, let's keep it rolling down the list. We have Columbus, Ohio. Columbus is a growing city with a strong economy, rising entrepreneurial scene. Then we have the other Ohio, Cleveland, experiencing a revitalization of new businesses and startup emerging. And then it's your hometown. Dante, you're in Tampa, yes? Tampa
Yes, sir.
is a
Yes,
growing
sir.
city with a strong economy and a rising entrepreneurial scene. Then we jump back to Texas again. I'm starting to see this pattern, right? San Antonio is a growing city with a strong economy and a rising entrepreneurial scene. And again, we jump back to Florida. Orlando is a growing city with a strong economy and a rising entrepreneurial scene. So here's the words of wisdom. And I hate to, I'm not really a political person when I'm streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and all of the other platforms. But I am a business person. All right. I am not a Trump supporter, but I will go on record to say it looks like if you're trying to do business in our platform, in our industry, short-term rentals, the red states are the states to be in. What you think about that, Dante?
It
Mm,
makes sense.
yeah. I'm a New Yorker. We're all blue. Well, we're getting purple, but New York didn't make the list, even though New York has the biggest city uh, 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 in the country. All right, let's go to the next article in the news. All right, to find profitable short-term rentals without buying real estate, we should leverage tools like the following: AirDNA, MassVisor, RoadView for market research and property analysis and revenue projections. And then once we find where we should be, then we get on platforms like Airbnb, Booking.com, VRBO to actually list and manage. Now, I'm assuming I'm talking to people who are either already in the game or who are thinking about getting the game. So these are some vocabulary terms you really need to be up on. I wasn't when I first started. And I'll be very, very honest. I had to learn kind of, you know, what's the saying? You build the plane mid-flight. I didn't know what I didn't know, but I was hosting. So for those of you who are trying to get in, these are some terms you should know. So if I'm trying to analyze a short-term rental for profitability and performance data, I need to go to AirDNA. If I'm trying to conduct short-term rental analysis and optimize my rates based on market insight, another place is Mash Visor. If I'm trying to project short-term rental revenue to see if it makes sense for me to actually buy, Rabuyu. And if I'm analyzing short-term rental data for both active listings and off-market properties, this is a key data dashboard is a resource. Now, for us, I've cut my teeth on Airbnb, VRBO, but not yet Booking.com. I don't know what your experience yet, Dante, with the big three. Where's your comfort level at?
I prefer just Airbnb. However, one of my properties, I did have them on all three platforms. It's just the most traffic came from Airbnb.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like Airbnb gives me the most control though. VRBO and Booking.coms, they're aligned with the hotel industry, and it didn't really allow me to interact with my automated messaging. It didn't allow me to, in fact, one of my VRBO guests refused to answer any of my messages and just showed up at the house. And I was like, well, it's great. However, you can't get the check-in codes until you answer my questions. And we have more control with Airbnb, in my opinion. Um, Now, have you started working with Beth to set up hospitables?
I haven't yet because I'm just trying to get another deal going and then go from there.
Okay, got you, got you. Hospitables is the bomb, and I'm gonna give you the short code, offline. But we recently started working with them. They got this AI feature, Dante, where if my guest asks me something, the AI will basically go through everything in my listing, anything I've actually has a history of responding, and it will do it almost like auto. It's like a self-driving car. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right. Moreover, once you determine which listing platform you're gonna be on, you want to get into something called dynamic pricing. Dante, can you explain to the audience the dynamic pricing a little bit?
So basically, dynamic pricing is a tool that we use in this space
Yes, sir.
that it updates. It gives us the ability to update our pricing every single day through automation. So basically, whatever area you're in, they'll scrape data from that area, and then based on the competition, you'll be able to set the correct pricing that you need in order to be profitable and also appealing to other vacation goers. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to lowball your property, but you still want to make some type of money.
Straight, straight. Listen, you want the best of both worlds. You want the occupancy and the profitability, which simply means you want to be like Goldilocks. You don't want to be too high, you don't want to be too low. You want to be right in the middle, just right. And that's what these dynamic pricing tools allow. It gives you that ability of yeah, I don't want to ever say you're gonna set it and forget it. I check mine about once a week to see where my competitors are, but it does give you the ability. Like if someone comes to one of my places in the month of April and they want to book in July, all right, my April price and my July price ought not be the same price because there's more demand in July. So that demand is going to drive up the the nightly daily rate I can command. And my landlords, my business partners, they love it. They love it because they know, when the snow is gone, McCrae's gonna make them some money. So that's a blessing. All right, let's keep this show going, right? Other tools that will be helpful for you guys. Turnkey is a vacation rental company that provides full service. You need a team to do the cleaning, they got you. You need a team that does the property management, they got you. The space that I just went into is most of my places, excuse me, I'll say it differently. All of my places have been in my zip code. I'm learning a new skill now. I'm on Dante's team. I'm learning how to do this remotely. So I could be across the country or across the world and not miss a beat. So automation and technology is becoming my best friend. So it's all about staying educated. It's all about the tools. All right. All right. Here's my last article. In 2025, zip codes like 4323, that's Ohio, 63021, I believe that's Montana, 01970, that's Salem, Mass, are the hottest and potentially experience dominance in the short-term rental market. So I don't know if you want to hit replay or take a screenshot, but based on the data and based on the research I've done, these are places that you might want to consider. Columbus, Ohio, St. Louis, Boston, Mass, Salem, Mass, New York, New Jersey City. All right, these are some good places. Now, interestingly enough, I'm not going to co-sign on any of them. You want to know why, Dante?
Say that one more time.
I'm not going to co-sign on any of these cities,
Why?
even though this is what is in the news. What do you notice about the majority of these states?
They're up north, which means cold weather, so it's seasonal.
Are they blue states or red states?
Blue states.
Guys, I did not vote for Donald Trump, but I am a business person. And anybody watching this podcast, trust me when I tell you, if you're going to do a business, it is more profitable for you and your family to do it in a red state. Should I say less, Dante?
No, you said enough.
Next, moving on. All right. Say you're at a dinner party. Say you're at a mixer and you're in this space, this short-term rental space. It's always cool to have a couple fun facts. I got you. It's a couple cool fun facts, y'all. All right. Now, our theme is locating a property for profit. That's the theme of today's show. So this might be something to be of interest to you. So, number one, some of the most profitable Airbnb markets are not big cities, y'all. Newsflash, you don't have to be in New York City. You don't have to be in Houston. All right. Get this, y'all. Small towns near national parks, hospitals, and military bases often outperform major cities in occupancy and cash flow. Look, friends, it's not about where people live. It's where people are traveling to work, rest, recover. See, the thought is if you're not invested in the vacation side of the house, it you ain't gonna make no money. That ain't real, y'all. That ain't real at all. You can make money, but you gotta think strategically. Strategically. Where are people traveling for work, for rest, or recovery? All right. Number two, all right, you could co-sign or you could say something out there if you want to push back. I'm cool with it. Pushback is not a bad thing. Number two, Airbnb Arbitrage is booming in places you've never heard of. Scranton, PA, Daytona Beach, Florida, Fayetteville, North Carolina have become hotspots for rental arbitrage because, now here's the key, y'all. This is the issue. You got to have low rent and high travel demand. All right, Dante and I can speak on the other side of this, where we either had low rent and low demand, or in Dante's case, he had high rent and high demand, both of which means that you can be in business, but you may not stay in business. Okay, because staying in business is not about revenue, it's about profit, y'all. That being said, myself, I'll just speak for myself. I do hybrid. I do a combination of the co-listing method as well as the Airbnb arbitrage method. So I got, certain places that I am renting and making the profit, and then places where I make my landlord the profit and we split the upside. Okay. Fun fact number 3, y'all. Medical professionals drive midterm bookings. Dante, I would have not have made a dime in the last 3 years if I didn't live in a medical city. Rochester, New York, y'all. We are a very small city. You can fit my city in the city of Buffalo, New York, 5 times. I see my boy Levi Johnson is on. He's down in New York City. His old city used to be Houston. Rochester can fit in Houston probably 7 or 8 times. I'm not even sure. Why we've been able to make money in Rochester is only because we have a very strong medical presence. In fact, our top producer back 30 years ago was manufacturing. They had the most employees, places like Kodak, places like Xerox, places like Bausch and Lomb. Dante, guess who our number 1 employer in my city is?
Is it a hospital?
It's the hospital, bro. It's the University of Rochester, aka Strong Hospital. That's the number 1 employer in my entire city. Therefore, here's the pro tip. All right. If you can be within a 5 to 10 minute drive of a major hospital, you can create a consistent income from traveling nurses, number 1, medical staff, number 2. These guests often stays for 30 to 90 days, and they love clean, furnished spaces, y'all. I know. I've had 3 check-ins in the last 72 hours. All traveling nurses, y'all. Okay, keep it moving. Number 4, airports equal cash. Can I say that again? It sounds good. Airports equal cash. Properties located within a 20-minute drive of a regional international airport are among the most searched on the platform. Yep, it's a true story. Business travelers and layover guests keep the calendar booked. All right, last fun fact for your dinner party or your mixer. All right, some hosts find deals using Facebook Marketplace. It's all true, y'all. I love Facebook Marketplace. Savvy short-term rental entrepreneurs look for flexible landlords by searching local rental listings on Facebook, Craigslist, and then negotiating. Dante, have you gotten into the Facebook or I know you do Craigslist, but have you done anything on Facebook yet?
Yeah, I'm reaching out to some homeowners on Facebook. I just haven't got anything like serious yet. And also too, I do have Facebook for my business. However, because I made it a professional account, I'm unable to like reach out to people. So I have to make another one, but instead of professional, just have a regular profile that I'm able to do that. So I'm actually gonna do that this week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm in the same boat. I have my professional, but it seems like I do most of like even right to this podcast. My professional is there, but I'm streaming everything to my personal account. So I'll definitely get that. Facebook, pros and cons. I would say Facebook is a good place. I get a lot of what's the word I'm gonna use? I get a lot of traffic, but not all of the traffic has resulted in anything tangible. Because I also use Facebook to book my places, Dante, especially when I'm looking for the 30 to 90-day midterm bookings. I'll just like you post your space on the big three, I post my place on Facebook for room rentals. That's
Yes,
the
sir.
difference. Not everybody's doing room rentals. Room rentals can be really a godsend during our slow season, but during your high season, you don't really want to do a ton of room rentals because your average daily rate is nothing compared to, a 4, 3, 3, 4, 5 bedroom house. So something to bear in mind. All right. So there's our fun facts. All right. I love this segment. This segment is called Crazy But Real Guest Interactions. Crazy but real. And I have a bunch that I've shared in the past, but I like to hear other people's crazy interactions myself. Dante, you got any additional interactions you want to bring to the front of the line?
Um, Honestly, the only one I really had was what I shared last week. I didn't really have anything else that was like too crazy.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm going to share some with the team. Here we go. Some crazy interactions. Um, Boom. So get this: a crypto miner spikes an electric bill. Can't make this up, people. An Airbnb host in the US was hit with $1,000 plus electric bill after a guest secretly used the rental to mine for crypto. Guests appeared normal, but left behind mining equipment, leading the host to ban such activity for future rentals. What was the lesson? When scouting properties, ensure that the electricity infrastructure can handle unexpected high usage and consider setting clear usage policies. Who would have thought on this one, bro? Do you have anything in your listings? Have you ever put anything in your listings about the electric bill? I can speak honestly. I have not. I have not. So this is uncharted territory. Um, okay. So looks like my stream says I was live. It says I'm no longer live. Let me check my stream real quick. Okay, here we go. Uh, all right, you're right. I was stopped. I thought I was still going. Okay, well, I got the other two streams still moving, so we're gonna keep going here. All right. Here's the second article I found. Thought was kind of interesting. Um, it says guests who left behind a house full of trash. Okay, here's the article. An Airbnb host in Texas was shot to find her property trashed after a guest stay. With garbage and belongings strewn everywhere, the incidents required extensive cleaning and highlighted the need for thorough guest vetting. Vetting is the word. Our lesson When selecting properties, consider the ease of maintenance and clean to handle potential messes efficiently. So this is a fun fact, Dante. Do you prefer hardwood, uh, linoleum, or carpet when you're looking at a property, or is it all good?
I'm cool with carpet and laminate flooring, but I feel like laminate flooring is easier to clean just based off of the fact with carpet, it
Yes,
stains, you know?
yes, yes. So fun fact, y'all, I have one property out of the 8 we manage right now with carpet, and I hate it. Not that I hate it because it's not profitable. I hate it because it requires so much maintenance. It's the only property with carpet. It's harder to clean. My cleaning crew spend twice the amount of time. Um, I, I recently had a direct booking that transitioned out. I'm holding on to a security deposit because guy stained the carpet. It looks like, I don't know, he was putting hair gel maybe in his hair or in his face. He's trying to get the gray out. I don't know. So he has it in the carpet, and it looks like he spilled some wine. So my cleaners came and went and still got the stain in the carpet. So I just messaged them 2 days ago, like, hey, I'm gonna hang on to this security deposit because I don't know what it's gonna take to get to get the stain out. And then on top of that, right? And then on top of that, I have in my listing, Dante, please return the property in the condition that you got it. And I get a boatload of pictures. There's trash everywhere, talking about my place being trashed. And his excuse was, well, McCray, just I got what's that when your back hurt and it radiates down your leg? What is that called? Uh, I can't even recall it. But he says I got this
A
condition
back
where I
spasm?
what's it called?
You talking about a back spasm?
It's now it begins with a is it stenosis? I don't remember. But he's basically giving me his excuse for not returning the place in the condition. I was like, look, bro, I'm not mad at you, but I can't make you whole until I'm whole. So I'm hanging on to the security deposit until we get to the other side of whatever the cleaning is gonna be. So, yep. All right. Number 3, y'all. Number 3. Guess who sued over a compromising photo? I had not heard this. So apparently, a guest sued an Airbnb host after the host allegedly took a compromising photo of a guest and sent it to his wife following a dispute over a bad review. That's straight gangster. I wouldn't have thought about that. This incident underscores the importance of privacy and professionalism in guest interaction. Yeah, that's a little rogue. I don't know if I would have done that. I've had my share of reviews that I didn't actually like or agree with, but yeah, I've never had a desire to put a compromising picture of a person on the internet. Uh, that's major immature. Um, yeah. All right, let's move this right along here. Um, you ever have any parties in your house, Dante? Anybody ever do any partying?
Never.
So you've been lucky, right? You have been lucky.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you, I have a belief that God watches over babies and fools. And I'm not no baby anymore. So, and I know God's been watching out over me. So I had a situation, you can't make this up. I had a guest. So I ended up, and this is when I was young in the game, I ended up taking a listing that I wasn't getting any traction on. I ended the rental arbitrage agreement with that landlord. But this listing had a lot of great reviews, 5, 6, 5-star reviews. So I ended up taking the listing and I repurposed it. I used the existing listing and I started marketing a different location. And I didn't know at the time that you couldn't do that or you shouldn't do that. I was just thinking out of the box. So the truth is, you probably shouldn't do that. I don't even think Airbnb allows you to do that anymore. But at the time, 3 years ago, you could. So I had a guest book the location, and because they didn't look at my check-in instructions, they went to the location that was associated with the property that I closed down. You am I painting the picture, Dante? So they go to the
Yes,
wrong
sir.
location. So they're literally at the wrong location. And they message me and I say, oh my God, okay, why is so I go there because I'm a great host at this point, because I'm a rookie. I'm actually the Uber because they don't have a car. I go Uber them from where they were to where they were supposed to be. And here's God and moving. I happened to drive by one of my other properties and I see a damn party. I'm like, what? So I so I'm cool with it. I drop off the one guest. You didn't make a big deal about it. And then I beeline. I literally beeline back over to the other property to see what is going on. And what had happened was the parents reserved the property for their kids to actually have a get together. That's what happened. Um, my mitigation strategy, y'all, is very simple. Right now, I do two things. All right. First of all, if a person is a local, because sometimes they get through, I hate it, but they do. All right. I always have a person upload their photo ID because I want to know their point, their place of residency. As soon as I see that they're from the 585, I hit them with a mandatory security deposit that's fully refundable. Something about those fully refundable deposits. People that have ill intent don't want to do it. If somebody's not doing anything crazy or trying to break any challenges, $500. Yep, I'm gonna get it back. Yep, okay, no problem. So I always do that. So they got to upload an ID, and if they're a local, they got to submit a $500 refundable deposit. I normally just have them because I don't even want to see the money because I'm giving it right back. I normally have them send it to me through Venmo or Cash App. It stays in that little area, and then I Venmo it right back when they're done. Save me a lot of time. But another game that my mentor Beth is teaching me is to have people buy their own insurance. Now that I'm on the front end of it. Once I've done that 4 or 5 times, I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit more about that rabbit hole. Because not only so best case scenario, right? You never have to your guest, you never have to use the insurance that your guest paid. And by the way, I think they have to it's a $30 they pay $30 for the insurance, right? So best case, they never use it and you get a small kickback. I don't know, $3, $4. I don't know what it is. I'm just learning about it. Worst case scenario is if something's damaged, now you have insurance above and beyond Airbnb. Isn't that beautiful, Dante? That's
Yes,
crazy.
sir. I agree.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know that. That's why we get into these mentorships so we can, grow more and learn more than what we knew to begin with. All right. So as I look at the time, what I want to do right now is I want to do a hard right. I want to talk about not the wins for the week because I'm sure there were some wins, but I want to reserve the last 15 minutes to talk about common questions that people have when they're trying to pick a place for profit. Common questions. And I researched the top questions. And Dante, I don't know if you want to kind of maybe do the first one, and maybe I'll talk about the second one and you do the third one. But let's see how this might work. So, Dante, how do you know if a location is profitable for short-term rentals? What would you tell our people?
Attractions. I feel like that's number one.
Okay. Say more.
So tourists, when they travel to different locations, it's usually because there's certain attractions. So, for
Mm-hmm.
example, like in Orlando, right? Obviously, Disney World is there. So
Yep.
when
Mm-hmm.
you're looking in that area, most likely it's going to be profitable based on that attraction itself. And that's just only one attraction in Orlando. There's so many. So I feel like if you focus on attractions, that's where all the people are going to. So that's why I would say that would be the biggest one.
You said it. Okay. So in a bullet point, where are people going to rest, to recharge, or to work? Those are the three things you could keep in terms, you keep in mind when we talk about the short-term rentals. All right. All right. And another trick I like to use, my friend, is this. Remember when we learned that you take the landlord's rental rate, say the rental rate is $2,000, and then you find uh um 4 or 5 properties on the platform Airbnb, figure out what their average daily rent is. Average daily rate is, excuse me, my average daily rate, not the average daily rate. And say that the average daily rate is $200, right? A night. So this is an easy math for everybody. $2,000 divided by 200 gives me how many days? 10 days, y'all. So a good rule of thumb is if you can make your landlord's money in the first 10 days and everything else, whether it's 5 days or 10 additional days out of that 30 days, if that is a pattern that you see, that's how you know your location is profitable. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right. Hope you guys are tracking. All right, let's go to the next one. What is what are the best tools or websites to search high demand STR markets? What do you like to use? Um, this is my question, right? I'll just say I like to use AirDNA, but that costs something. And I like to use and this is for free. I like to just jump on um well, this costs too. I'm trying to what's a free one, man? I'm trying to give people some free stuff. What do you think, Dante? Some free
Maybe
tools.
Facebook
Maybe Facebook. Okay.
and
Yeah. Yep.
Craigslist as well. But like other websites, they usually cost.
Yep. Yep. I mean, and this is free. Here's a free game. Think about where you see national parks or lakes or place that people are bringing children to. All right. Find those locations, and then because you want to make sure that they're STR compliant. All right, and that speaks to one of those questions: which zoning or STR regulation should I check before choosing a location? pick an address, then throw that address into Airbnb. If you don't see any listings, then there's a zoning issue. And it's not STR friendly. If you see a bunch of listings, then you know that's a potential win. So simply throw the address right in and see what comes back. Okay. All right, I like that. Let's go to this last one. We're not gonna go all of them. Go to this last one. Should I target vacation spots or urban areas near hospitals or business hubs? Feel like we answered that before, didn't we not?
Yeah, you were saying that hospitals are really the way to go because they're just like everybody, um, not everybody, but basically people with needs, like if they have family in the hospital and things like that, it's easier for them to like travel to that. And they also like when it comes to the business side, um, traveling nurses, they have contracts, so the hospitals that they work for will pay a premium.
Yes, sir. What should have been up there too is airports, because we spoke about that a bit as well. Hospital, airports, business hubs. Yeah, all of that. That's good. This is a good one. How far should my home be from my rental property? Can I manage it remotely?
Remotely,
Remotely is the way to do it, guys. Let's be clear. You want to use systems, you want to use technology, you want to be able. Imagine this, Dante. You got your mobile phone and you are on your favorite beach anywhere in the world and you're running that business.
the
How that
dream come true.
you got your mobile in one hand, you got your adult drink of choice in the other hand, and you're making it happen. That's what this is all about. I would absolutely encourage everybody to go in the remote direction. Go in the remote direction. All right, well, guys, that's all I wanted to share on today. Again, I am dropping that ebook. Chapter 2 is going to be our focus next week. So this week was uh, 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 finding a place, that's going to be profitable. Okay, so it's about the location. Next week, we're going to talk about the communication. What do you say to the landlord? What do you say to either have them say, yes, I'm interested in the rental arbitrage, or yes, I'm interested in you partnering with me and you becoming my property manager? That is going to be the focus for our next get together for the next podcast. And on that note, uh, in the words of one of my mentors, guys, be blessed, but more importantly, be a blessing. Take care and good night, everybody.